I could take a break, or I could just push through with it. And make it end! Yeah, end it now. Thank you. Thanks, Nottingham. This is a nice place, considering this is Nottingham. And I was speaking to the amazing Jonathan Smith earlier, and saying that as we were walking through the streets, I was having a kind of, what's that thing that Proust says? Proustian rush. Because these are nasty streets, and this time last year, the last time I was in Nottingham, was this time last year at Game City, and there was some kind of horrible sponsored carnage, yeah, the undergraduate pub crawl, which basically seems to involve hundreds of very, very unattractive students lurching through the streets of Nottingham with their pants around their ankles and wearing, yeah, sponsored carnage t-shirts, and it was vile, bellowing at each other and howling at each other and rutting in corners and vomiting in the streets like cats. And it was really disgusting. So it's nice that this is happening here in Nottingham. We're raising the profile of a city basically otherwise best known for gun crime, domestic violence and sporadic outbreaks of Legionnaires' disease. So this is my bit, I'm doing my bit here. So I'm going to read you the only poem that I've ever had broadcast that's actually generated a complaint. Something about which, obviously, I'm incredibly, incredibly proud. Yes, complaint. Because I've been in this game long enough to realise that there'll only be negative people. People will say, you can't do that, you can't say this, you can't sit there, you can't fuck that. Stop taking photos of my kids. These people are haters, and I'll just let them get on with the hating. So here is that complaint drawing poem. It's called Scrabulous. Someone actually knows this enough to care. You're my favourite. I am playing with Scrabulous, and I am winning. Winning! You are losing, and you are humble. You are humble and contrite. After lording it over me last week, after lording it over me off the back of a fluky win based on a cowardly possession of obscure two-letter words you've memorised like an autistic Scrabulous moron. But now the tables have turned, and I'm trouncing you, and you hate it, and I love it. And I'm torn between pity and contempt. And I eventually decide on pity, because it means I can place the Y on a double-letter score, taking me 30 points into the lead. And you hate it, and I love it, because I'm 30 points up. And you know what that means. You know what that always means. Last week you won flukily off the back of a load of pathetic two-letter non-words. And you said to me, you know what that means. And I did know, and you knew, and you insisted. So I did. But Tona, it's you who knows what that means. That meaning the consequence of losing a game of Scrabulous to me. And you know that when I place these final tiles to score 24 points for the word flabby, it won't be long until you're unzipping my flies outside Morrison's in town and delivering one of your hilariously mediocre blowjobs, charmingly inept, all teeth and choking and sobbing. And they'll be laughing at your struggle, laughing with the glory of my victory, and a small part of me looking down at us from above and laughing at the spectacle of you, my own twin brother, giving me head under half streetlight outside a bunch of Morrisons in Stroud. And I'll cry a bit, and then I'll get back to the laughing. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's good complaint. Which is that? Hello. 1 minute. There's only one left. There's only one left anyway, don't worry. But thanks. Yeah, well, I'm going to wrap up this part of the evening by reading to you what I consider to be my opus, my calling card, the thing that I hope future generations of video game poetry fans may remember me for. It is hard-hitting because it's about issues. As a poet, I do wear my politics on my sleeve. For instance, I don't like Nestle. I refuse to eat Nestle products. That might seem like a completely futile gesture, and a gesture that suggests that I'm basically a pathetic, jug-headed sheep with an ego as brittle as glass and a copy of Naomi Klein's No Logo where my brain and personality should be. But it's not. It's actually a very valid gesture and one that saves literally tens of thousands of lives a day and in no way marks me out as a stupid, pompous, suggestible cunt. So here is that time, which is about politics and such, and it's called Spelunky. You lie back on your counterfeit Disney bedspread. A poorly rendered image of Donald Duck gazes at you, inches from your face. You are 31 years old, and no matter how much you furrow your brow, or knead your bald fist into your temples, or sob, or thrash and flail at the injustices of the world, you cannot fathom how you ended up here, alone, 31 and semi-erect in a bed-sitting bathing soak on a Friday night. You slowly begin to work your way backwards through the tragicomic montage of humiliation, disappointment and broken ambitions that constitute your adult life. You can't help yourself, despite your awareness of the obscene futility of the exercise. The past is a foreign country. You've no currency, no rough guide, and no stash of condoms packed more out of hope than expectation, which will remain in the jute wash bag your mum gave you for Christmas for another 3 years, before you finally admit defeat and flush them one by one down the toilet in the moment of intense emotional clarity feels like having your heart and libido pulled out through your anus. Make no mistake, life, despite what Ronan Keating says, is not a roller coaster. The initial title of that song was "Life is a gradual and irreversible accumulation of indignities, regrets and non-learning, which will almost certainly end with you spitting, cursing and defecating uncontrollably in a hospital bed as your poor family watches helplessly." The record company vetoed that title and a hit was made. That's not to say that there aren't moments to enjoy in life. Remote islands of joy in the enormous churning sea of ennui. Fleeting moments of relief when life stops kicking you in the nuts for just a moment. Such as discovering that your favourite chocolate bar has been relaunched in a new flavour. But even this delight is short-lived, inevitably transitory. Kit Kat have already done dark chocolate, white chocolate, mint and orange. Where is there left to go? Next year it will be coffee flavour, and then what? A resumption of the lonely trudge towards the grave, with nothing to look forward to, but another evening of repeats of Top Gear on days, or watching your own weeping reflection from the back of the mirror. Could it be possible to take the whole of a human existence and condense it into a single moment? To take the entirety of a life experience, render it down to its simplest elements, and then reconfigure it into one image that most elegantly represents that human's time on the planet and what he's made of it? Why is it that when I close my eyes, the image that habitually returns is of my 16-year-old self kneeling before the television set with the sound turned down, shooting protective glances over my shoulder as I clumsily palm myself raw over a repeat of Eurotrash. The face of Antoine de Corn suddenly leering at me as I reach my moment of relief. What does that mean? Is that me forever? The essence of my life that will echo throughout the universe for eternity? Almost certainly. Human existence is a hideous hall of mirrors, endlessly renewing and regenerating itself. Like the video game Spelunky, remorselessly generating new ways to thwart you each day. You are not skilled enough of a player. You will lose. End of time. By this book, me and Derek later on this evening are going to strip to the waist and have a fist fight in the middle of this floor for your business. As a promise.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Craig McLelland, Video Games Poet Laureate. I think we all learned something this evening. I learned that Craig's twin brother hasn't been faithful to me. You can buy Craig's book from Craig, I believe. How many?